Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jonathan and Mark, J&M Sports. We're back at you with a preview of Week 7 college football. You know, it's already Week 7, Mark. It's like just yesterday we were talking about Week 2. So let's just dive in. We've got some quick picks and picks. So let's start off with our quick picks. Michigan State at Penn State. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, so Michigan State, fresh off that loss to Northwestern at home, I'm going Penn State all the way in this one.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against them, even if they hadn't lost to Northwestern this last week. Easy one there. One of our ESPN picks, Ohio Bobcats are at the Northern Illinois.
Going with the Huskies in this one.
All right, sounds good. I agree with you. It's at home for them. I'm going to pick the Huskies as well. Yeah, all right, here's a big matchup for the weekend in the American. UCF at Memphis, round 3, it seems. Seems like every time we're trying. They had 2 great games last year. The first game this year, how do you think it's going to go?
Yeah, so I'm hoping for another similar game to the American Conference Championship.
Yes.
That went double overtime. But for me in this one, got to go with the defending national champion.
I agree with you. I'm going to go with Knights. The Milton is just so good. All right, moving on. West Virginia at Iowa State. Does Iowa State get another upset 2 weeks in a row?
This game was tricky to pick. Conventional wisdom tells you West Virginia, they're in the top 10, stick with them. But they're on the road. You mentioned Iowa State last week. I'm going to go with Will Greer, but I think this one's going to be really close.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good game, but it's hard to pick against him and David Sills. They just seem to make more plays every week, even when you expect it. All right, moving on. We have Miami's going to Virginia in this one. Does Miami get this win after just barely get by the Seminoles?
Yeah, rocky start last week for the Miami Hurricanes, but I really like the revamped offense with Perry, the freshman quarterback.
Yeah,
I think they just had a different walk about them, especially in the second half last week. So I'm going Miami, even though they're on the road.
Right, I agree with you. Miami's got this one. This should be easy for them. All right, another ESPN matchup. We got Middle Tennessee at Florida International. Who do you got in this one?
So this is not your mother's Middle Tennessee team that would routinely beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Another thing, Butch Davis, the famous football coach, coached in the NFL, coached for Miami. He's actually the head coach for Florida International. So I'm going to FIU at home in this one.
All right. Fair enough pick. I'm going to go with Middle Tennessee in this one. I feel like between the two, it's a safer pick. So I'm going to go with Middle Tennessee. So we'll toss a coin on this one. All right.
I'm going to be right on that one. But
all right.
I'll take it.
Okay. You can be right on this one, but none of the others. All right. All right. Moving on. We got a big matchup in the SEC East. We get West crossover. We got Texas A&M traveling to South Carolina. Who do you like in this one, Mark?
This is another tricky game, and it's because Texas A&M is going on the road to South Carolina. Another question going into this game is Jake Bentley. Will he be the quarterback for South Carolina?
Right.
I'm going Texas A&M because I trust in Jimbo Fisher and I trust in Kellen Mond.
Yep. All right, yeah, I agree with you on this one. South Carolina, they're getting a little better. And they may have found a backup quarterback in, however you say his name. I'm not even going to try to butcher his name here. But Texas A&M is just playing really good ball right now. I'm going to go with the Aggies as well. All right, and now we got a big Thursday matchup as well.
Yes.
In the state of Texas, we have Texas Tech at TCU. Mark, who do you like in this one?
Well, this was another tough game to pick. Very similar teams. TCU's defense is not as good as it's been in years past. I like Texas Tech in this game. They've had several good wins, most notably the beaten Oklahoma State a few weeks back. So I'm going Texas Tech in this one all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams have been tested so far this year. TCU had that tough game against Ohio State. They played really well in. And Texas Tech had that early game against Ole Miss that really got them galvanized as a team. And I agree with you. I think this Texas Tech offense has just a little too much firepower for this TCU defense that's struggling. But I would say if it was you had one play on the line, and it was this Gary Pinkel and his defense against the Texas Tech offense, I would take TCU. But since it's a whole game, I just think Texas Tech has got too much weapons for their defense to handle. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech as well.
Yeah, this could be an offensive shootout.
Yep.
Which Gary Patterson.
Yeah, but my bad. I didn't mean to Pinkle, but
Gary Patterson, man, he's got to be frustrating as a defensive coach having a team like this. But
right.
Sometimes you go through those rebuilding years.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So now we've got our quick picks in. Now let's move on to our picks. Let's start off with a big one in the SEC. The Georgia Bulldogs are heading to the Death Valley at LSU. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, so for this one, even though it's at LSU, I'm going Georgia in this one. And the reason for that is Joe Burrow, once he threw an interception last week, you could really see he was shaking.
Yeah.
And the Georgia Bulldog defense is going to be as good as the Florida Gator defense last week. So all that combined, I like Georgia's offensive line. I like the quarterback, Jake Fromm, and his experience. And Swift, I think, is a Heisman candidate. So all those things combined, I think Georgia no-brainer.
Yeah, it's similar in some ways, like the matchup last week for LSU at Florida. But I think the biggest difference is the fact Georgia, I think they know where their identity is on offense more than Florida does. So I think that spells for more trouble for LSU. I think it'll look kind of similar early on, but I like Georgia to pull this one out and win pretty convincingly. It won't be as close as Florida. All right, so we're going to move on to the Pac-12 for a matchup. Colorado-Buffalo, they're herding into South California to take on the Trojans. They're undefeated. Who do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, so even though Colorado's undefeated, they've had some mild tests. They have not played a team of USC's caliber, the depth or the talent. USC has been very good at home, undefeated at home. USC also had a bye week going into this one, so they've had adequate time to scout and prepare for Colorado. So I'm going USC in this one. Not really sure it'll even be close, but Colorado, they, gotta give them a little bit of credit, but I think it'll be a 10-point ball game.
I understand that. I'm gonna go actually with Colorado though. My reasoning for it though is USC, the games they've struggled. Big one was Texas. Is they have trouble against physical teams, and Colorado right now, the reason why they're undefeated is they're playing really good physical ball and able to run it. So I'm going to pick Colorado in the upset here because they're going to be more physical and be able to run the ball. Even though I do like the trajectory USC's going right now, I'm going to take the Buffalo on the upset here.
Okay, that'll be an interesting one to watch.
Yep. All right, so moving on. We're going to stay in the Pac-12. Got another really fun one to watch. Washington is traveling to Oregon. Who do you like in this one, Mark?
This was another tough game to pick. Oregon, they've had a decent season, but that game slipped away from them, the Stanford game, late. So it'll be a challenge for that not to slip away from this game. But they're playing at home. But I really like Washington. Okay. They were my preseason pick to win the Pac-12 conference, and they've had a lot of close games. Oregon hasn't necessarily had all the close games that Washington has. I think this will be another close game, and I'm going to give the edge to Washington because they've been there already this season. They've got a decent defense, and they've got a veteran quarterback who hasn't had his best season, but he definitely has that experience factor.
Yeah, I agree with some of that, but I'm going to go with Oregon in this one. I think the fact that they had that game against Stanford that slipped away, they've been playing a lot better since then. And that game they really should have won. So being at home, I like them to win this one. And plus, I'm not really sold on Washington this year. Maybe it's because I'm comparing them to last year's team, but something just still isn't impressed me with them this year. They've had a lot of struggles all season long. So with that, I'm going to go with Oregon at home, getting the big win. This is not going to slip away like Stanford did. So,
all right.
All right. So we're going to move on to the big game of the week. College game day is going to be at Wisconsin is traveling to the Big House. Who do you like in this one, Mark?
Yeah, so this is not the Wisconsin teams that we've seen the last 2-3 years, honestly. They've got Jonathan Taylor. They've got Hornerbrook, the quarterback, who has some experience. But they just haven't played to the caliber of talent that they have there. Michigan, on the other hand, they've broken in a lot of new talent there this year.
Right.
And the results have been there. They have won every game since that first one, since the Notre Dame game. So I'm gonna go with Shea Patterson in this game. They're at home in the big house.
Yeah.
Should play a factor in the game. We'll see where it lies.
Good pick. Good pick. Not so fast, my friend. You know what? If there's one thing you need to learn about big games, if a team's going to go on the road to get the upset, what do they need to do first? That's run the ball. And Wisconsin can run the ball as good as anyone. And with that reason, I like Jonathan Taylor, able to put the team on their shoulders, step up, and have a big win here. So I'm going to go with Wisconsin in the upset. If it would be an upset, I don't know. But it'd be going to the big house, getting a big win is a big deal. So I like Wisconsin to run the ball and win the game.
Jonathan, you're either going to have a really good week or I'm going to have a really good week. Either way, one of us is having a good week of picks.
Yeah, the other one's going to do terrible, yeah. That's how it goes. But we hope you enjoyed.
Speaking of picks,
yes,
don't forget to submit your picks this week.
Make all the picks. I haven't done that every week. I blame swiping, but it's all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed our after show. Hope you enjoy this weekend in college football, and look forward to talking about it all next Monday. Catch you guys later.